Slow down.
We're in his territory now.
Beast, the latest Idris Elba film. No, not that one. That's the other latest Idris film. 2 Idris films out at the same time. Jeez, this man is prolific. Hey, no. Sonic 3 isn't for another year and a half. Get back, sexy Idris Knuckles. No, Beast is different. Beast is a survival thriller creature feature that follows Idris's character, Dr. Nate, bringing his 2 teenage daughters on a vacation to the Mopani Reserve in South Africa in the hopes to reconnect after the passing of his late wife, whose village just happens to be nearby. While on safari with their friend Uncle Martin, a deranged lion whose pride was gunned down by poachers, stalks the group, attacking anyone, and it becomes a race to get to safety for Dr. Nate and his family. Okay, so we have a lot of different themes going on here, from environmentalist anti-poaching messages to a theme of grief and loss leading to a struggle to rekindle familial bonds. And fortunately, most of them work. Unfortunately, not all of them do, leading to some threads and a commentary that seems skin deep at best and not as fully explored as it could have been. But let's start with the good stuff. The pacing is great, and that's a huge plus given the director's clear fascination with long, one-take tracking shots. These are always a joy to see and very, very impressive to pull off effectively. Even more so when you have a wonderfully creative dream sequence in the car with the camera spinning around and characters constantly switching seats or disappearing or ending up in a different position. It's great. Easily one of the most memorable parts of this film. Props to the director, I hope I pronounced this right, Baltazar Kormákur, for that. I'm not kidding when I stress that these are used almost exclusively throughout the entire film. It really is something great. Also, what an amazing setting. I love films that fully use their unique setting to the max, and this South African landscape is gorgeous. The animal designs are nice as well, and I have to say, I'm surprised that the lion antagonist is fully, equipped. He's got balls! Usually CGI animals are like Ken dolls or have a tuft of fur covering any genitalia. Looking at you, Aslan. Which is fine, but it's not realistic. It's nice to see the animators had the balls to defy the norm. Now, there are some story beats that don't work as well, but are forgivable with the suspension of disbelief. At least the film addresses these typically with a line or two, like Dr. Nate saying he doesn't know how to hotwire a car, so he just absolutely has to get out and go find the keys somewhere. What's worse is a lot of the deeper themes and commentary surrounding Nate's character and disconnection from his kids. Typically, creature features like these use the enemy Beast as a reflection of the main character's issues. And that's no different here, with the lion angry at his pride being gunned down and Nate having lost his wife and lost touch with his kids. So typically, he has to overcome this reflection of his grief in order to try to reconnect or be consumed by it, literally. This unfortunately just simply isn't explored as deep as it could be. There's some arguments between Nate and his eldest daughter, but it immediately shuts down a little further through the movie. Same with the girls arguing with each other. Aside from one scene in the car later on, there's no real tension between them after the lion attacks. And that's a huge issue that undercuts the theme. It may seem small, but it means the film has less staying power and far, far less of an emotional connection to the audience. If I were to fix it, I'd trap the family by themselves for longer, have them talk to each other more often, and let their wants and thoughts clash a lot more frequently, leading to either a group overcoming their emotional baggage and growing together, or losing each other to it for a bigger gut punch. Unfortunately, we don't get that, so it ends up feeling superficial to the basic plot. And that's honestly just okay. It doesn't lead the film to repeated watches or owning it on DVD. It's still enjoyable, but I don't see anyone actively rewatching it. Ultimately though, I recommend you catch this one in theaters for the scenery, makeup effects, and amazing cinematography. I cannot stress that enough, but I wouldn't blame people for waiting for it to hop onto streaming. It's a good yet flawed thriller that absolutely could have used a couple more rewrites, but it's still pretty good for what we have. Beast gets a 7.75 out of 10 from me. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around for another one. I haven't reviewed a creature feature on here quite yet, at least I don't think so. But creature features are usually really interesting. There's a lot of different things you could do with them. Of course, some people just prefer the spectacle of attacking an animal or a monster coming to get you, while others like to get a bit more philosophical with it, and it's like, oh, usually the smart way is having the creature being a mirror image or a representation of the protagonist or the group. Good example of that is probably Jordan Peele's Us, which I'm not entirely sure I want to call a creature feature, but it fits. It fits the metaphor really, really well. Other things would be like Sweetheart. Again, I'm talking about Sweetheart. Excellent film. More people need to watch it. Or it's trying to overcome this issue. Another one would be After Midnight, which not a great film that barely uses its monster, but it's another good example of a creature feature using the monster. Another one would be Monster. Exactly. There's quite a few examples I can pull, but ultimately it's what you make of it, and I think this is a pretty good one. It's fairly standard. Could have used a bit more time to dive into all of that and everything that goes with it, all the commentary, but for what it is, we get a lot of high tension one take scenes, and those are still just a ton of fun. I love those. You have a one take scene in your movie, it's probably going to be my favorite one. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this could have used a bit more time in the oven? Do you think you like the line itself? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious. And that's it. Remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss a video. Follow my socials if you want. Jesus, I will take all the Twitter followers, please. And that's it. Have a great day, and if you're not, have a better one. See ya.